y'all, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about all the basics you need to know about ERGs. So if you're brand new to the hybrid fitness space and you've seen a row or ski machine, but you're not really sure what all the numbers on the screen means, this is the video for you. So first off, I do not have a bike ERG available to me, so I'm not going to be talking about that one specifically in this video. Its units are a little bit different with RPMs versus strokes per minute and things like that, so we're not going to talk about that. But we're going to be talking a lot specifically about the concept to row and ski machine. So the very first number you'll see at the very top of your screen is the overall time. So once you get the flywheel moving, that's when the timer starts. And if you walk away from the machine to do, like, let's say some circuit training or something, and you come back to it, you'll notice that the time has stopped because the flywheel has stopped. And then it'll continue again once you start moving it again. So that is just the overall time that the flywheel has been spinning. And the most common unit displayed is going to be meters. So you'll see a lot of workouts expressed in meters, whether that's DECA at 500 meters or High Rocks at 1,000 meters, or maybe a 2K time trial that's 2,000 meters you're reaching for. And probably the most important number on the screen is going to be your pace, and that's expressed in how much time it takes you to complete 500 meters. So for an example, on the screen here, you can see my pace is just above 2 minutes. That means it takes me just over 2 minutes to complete 500 meters at the pace that I was skiing. So you can also extrapolate that out. That means it's going to take me over 4 minutes to complete 1,000 meters, or well over 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes to complete 2,000 meters if I can maintain that pace the entire time. So pace is a really important thing to stay aware of, especially if you're trying to hit a certain split during a race, whether that's on the row or the ski. That display is going to show you just about how long it'll take you in that zone. So that average pace is going to be a pretty important number to keep your eye on, because that's going to show you a truer picture of what your overall pace will be for the entire workout you're on the machine for. Whereas that other pace is just what your pace is at during your previous stroke. And you may have noticed I skipped over a little number at the top right of the screen. That was intentional. That's our strokes per minute. So that's going to show you how many strokes you're doing per minute and give you an idea of what your tempo is. And your strokes per minute are generally different based on which machine you're doing. So on the row, for example, your strokes per minute are going to be a little bit lower. So you're going to have that range generally between 24 and 30 strokes per minute on the row, because it takes longer to reset from that finished position. Whereas on the ski, the pull and the recovery are around the same time, so you're gonna be able to do more strokes per minute on the ski than you will on the row. So on the ski, you're generally between 30 and 40 strokes per minute. And those are just rough averages. If you're doing a longer endurance event, you might have your strokes per minute a little bit lower. If you're doing something quick and fast-paced, lots of power, like a DECA strong team, you might have those strokes per minute a little bit higher to get it done faster. It just depends what your race is and where your damper setting is. And don't worry, we'll get to damper in just a second. And you'll notice on the display, you have a lot of button options too. First off is units. You can scroll through calories or meters, whatever you want to display on the screen for you. So you can also scroll through there and choose what your display will look like. If you want it condensed and just to see the bare basics, you can. If you want to scroll out and find some extra things, force curves and a pacer boat and all these other different features on the display options. And once you get moving, you can click into any display option using the buttons along the right column there, so you can quickly choose the display you want to see. Plus there are lots of fun games like darts or fishing you can access through the main menu, and you can even connect this to your phone. There's an app called ERG Data, so you can learn more about that app up here in this video, but it's a really cool option to record your exercise history and your workouts and things like that. And the moment you've been waiting for, the damper setting. So the damper setting affects something called the drag factor, which is how fast the flywheel decelerates. So a higher damper means that it decelerates faster, which also means that your strokes per minute will have to increase to catch the flywheel and continue its movement. So you may rack up meters a lot faster, but it's going to come at an energy cost. Whereas with a lower damper setting, it decelerates slower, so you don't have to do as many strokes per minute to keep the flywheel moving, but it also doesn't rack up meters quite as quickly, which makes it the more efficient choice for the long term, but it's going to take you a long time to get those meters done. So finding a happy balance of low strokes per minute and good energy cost is going to be really important to finding where your damper setting should be. My advice is to avoid the extremes. We don't want to go super low or super high on the damper setting. So stay right in that middle for starters. Play around with 5 to 7 on the damper setting and see which works best for you. And that's the bare basics of the concept to performance monitors for the ski and the row ERG. There are lots more features available for these machines, so I linked a helpful article down below from Concept2 about these performance monitors. It has everything you need to know and all the different tips and tricks and intricacies of the programming down in that link. And make sure to like and subscribe down below and check out my Fit Tips email list as well. I share lots of fun tips on hybrid racing, talking about technique, form, efficiency, talking about hybrid racing and how you can be a better hybrid athlete. But other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!